believe that you can lose weight just by exercising and not changing one thing about what you eat, or that you can boost your metabolism based on when you eat during the day. Well, turns out that's bunk. Dr. James Rippe is exposing the biggest diet myths in his new book called Weight Loss That Lasts, Break Through the 10 Big Diet Myths. Doctor, welcome. It's nice to have you here.
Nice to meet you.
So this is a joint effort, I should say. The book also says Weight Watchers, so I guess you worked on it together. Do you mind? Let's go through these myths pretty rapid fire, so we can then we can ask some questions maybe from the audience. Number one, you can't lose weight and keep it off.
Well, that's, Linda, that's the biggest myth, and it's the one that we start. This is a book I did in collaboration with Weight Watchers, and a lot of people have the sense that it's not possible to keep weight off in the long term, and yet we know from thousands of individuals that it is possible to do that. And so what we try to do in the book is say, let's be frank, it is difficult to lose weight, but it's not impossible. And so what we try to do is say that myth has a kernel of truth, but if you believe the entire myth, then you can go down a wrong path. So what we try to do is say, use the power of the kernel of truth, and then use the science to tell you how to proceed.
Okay, I'm going to try to squeeze all these in. Myth number 2, a few extra pounds don't matter. Myth number 3, willpower is the key to successful weight loss.
Yeah.
Why is that a myth?
Well, it's not a myth, Linda, but it is a myth. But the myth is that willpower alone will be enough. We've looked through the whole literature, and there are 4 key components: regular physical activity, proper nutrition, a long-term mindset, and of course willpower is part of that, and the support of other people. And if you have all 4 of those components, you're likely to succeed in the long term. So yes, willpower is important, but it's only one of 4 key components.
Okay, number 4, you can lose weight with exercise alone.
Yeah, well, this is what I call the guy myth. You know, a lot of people who come through our research laboratory, a lot of guys who come through our research laboratory say, well, you know, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work out 2 hours a day, and I'm not going to change anything about what I eat, and I'm going to lose weight. Well, first of all, they're not going to go to the gym 2 hours a day. And secondly, we've shown in study after study that if you only use exercise as your weight loss tool, that in and of itself is not enough. Now, of course, exercise is a key component, but it's only one of the 4 components that I mentioned.
Okay, number 5, calories don't matter. Avoid fats or carbs to lose weight successfully.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that has been so prominent recently, and it's really the basis of the low-carb movement, which I think now is really receding very rapidly. And the premise either of the low-fat movement, which was a decade ago, or the low-carb movement is you simply cut down on the carbs and you will lose weight, or you cut down on the fat and you will lose weight, as though calories don't matter. Calories do matter, and that's the key thing that people need to understand. It's also not healthy to cut out a lot of the complex carbohydrates in our diet.
Okay, number 6, you can't lose weight if you have the wrong metabolism or genes. Number 7, I want to ask you about this one. You can boost your metabolism by what, how, and when you eat. Not true.
Yeah. Well, you know, in any given time, we will see a bestseller out there that says, don't eat certain things before noontime, or only eat dairy products in the afternoon, or, you know, you name it. There are lots of different things that are out there in popular books, and none of those have panned out and lasted in the long term. The thing that's important to do is have a consistent, varied diet and pay attention to portion control.
Okay, myth number 8, it doesn't matter how you take the weight off. You could think about keeping it off later. Number 9, there is only one right approach to losing weight.
The number 9 is the myth of the New York Times bestseller list. Every year we will have books on the New York Times bestseller, predictably, that say this is this latest, greatest, revolutionary way to lose weight. Follow my program that has discovered principles that nobody knew before, and this is the best way to lose weight. Well, most of those don't even last a year, and that's why the next year there will be other New York Times bestsellers. So the key thing is for people to follow good, solid principles, and that's what we try to do in Weight Loss That Lasts.
Yeah, I saw one of the new ones is like French women don't get fat.
Yeah, well, you know, yes, well, that's this year's version.
Right.
Last year it was Atkins and South Beach, and next year it'll be something different.
Okay, number 10, your weight is your problem and you need to solve it on your own.
Well, this is kind of the Iron Man or the Iron Woman myth, and a lot of people have this sense that they got into this problem by themselves, and they need to get out of it by themselves. And they don't want to tell other people that they're struggling with their weight or that they're trying to lose weight. And that's not a good idea, because you need to get the support of other knowledgeable people, people who care about you. Otherwise, they may inadvertently sabotage what you're trying to do by saying, oh, didn't you like the meal, or won't you have seconds, or so on. And of course, your weight does affect other people. The good news in this myth is that you can get the support of other people, and that's one of the key things that will help you keep weight off in the long term. Weight impacts on the people around us, not just ourselves. Reach out, get the support from other people.
Well, there's a lot more good sense stuff in this book. And Dr. Rippe, thank you very much for bringing along some books for their audience. So the studio audience, everyone gets a copy. And for those of you at home who want to know more about it, the title, once again, is Weight Loss That Lasts. Dr. James Rippe, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Linda. Nice being with you.